tiny house phenomenon of recent years is a social movement where people are literally downsizing the space they live in. A typical American home, we're told, is about 2,600 square feet. Well, tiny houses are usually just 100 to 400 square feet. Connecting Point producer Dave Fraser shared this story in the spring of last year and returned recently to see the completion of a Wilbraham man's first tiny house.
Tiny house living is actually scaling down from these grandiose ways to paring down to a much easier, simpler life, which enables one person to actually have free time to do what you enjoy and actually have an enjoyable life. There are benefits. Obviously, it's on a flatbed trailer, and you can build them on different sizes according to your needs. So you can actually, you don't have to own your own property. You can actually lease some land. You can put it at a trailer park. So it's a different way of living. It's much more cost effective, but it's also small luxury. A few years ago, we stumbled upon this gentleman that was starting a project, and we were enamored with it and started exploring the possibilities of making our own. So it was kind of a science experiment where we started doing it because we're not builders, but partnered up with a couple friends and chipped away at it over the period of actually a few years. Here we are over 2 years later. What we realized, we had this trailered here, and what we realized is this is a much larger thing that I could actually bite off. I called in some friends, some help, and I realized, we realized with my friends that they couldn't do it either. So I was like, we could do half of it, but I had to call in the professionals to actually do some things that we couldn't do. There's a large learning curve to these, and I'm glad I did it, but it was also a big feat, and it was a big learning curve. I learned a lot though this way. The neat thing about these tiny houses is you can custom finish it to the way you want it. I personally like stained glass. What I did up here is basically in that center there was just a hole, and I took it to a local artisan, and he put in like the hills in the background with a nice water and tree scene, and these were a nice way to kind of just top the tiny house off. We also encased it in bulletproof glass on the outside, because when you're going 70 miles an hour, you really have to account that a rock's going to fly up, and I don't want to lose my small fortune that I paid to get this done. Looking back over this whole process, thinking like maybe we would live in this thing, maybe not. I wanted to. Even my wife was for it, but this one's 128 square feet. There's no way that we would both survive in this with the dog too. I think if I was single, I'd do it, because I just don't need to take as much space up. But at 128 square feet for 2 people and a dog, it's just a little bit tight.